The budget statement and economic policy of the government of Ghana for the year 2026 financial year, presented by the Minister of Finance on behalf of His Excellency, the President. Mr. Speaker, I wish to first of all commend the Minister of Finance, Honorable KCL Atuforsen, and his team for the yeoman's job that they have been doing for the people of Ghana. And I wish to urge them to continue to make us proud. Mr. Speaker, this was a very simple to digest budget. And it is out there and admitted by many, especially the experts, that the finance minister was very honest about his accounts as far as the economy is concerned. He acknowledged what we came to meet, the distress economy that he came to inherit. And then he recounted to us about how the 2025 budget had helped to restore fiscal stability. And also accounted to this House how the fiscal stability was being sustained through the introduction of revenue reforms that was to ensure more tax compliance, especially with the introduction of digital means of collecting revenue, like the introduction of AI. Mr. Speaker, but what was also most significant was his emphasis on tighter expenditure controls and the growth-oriented spending that he and his team have been focusing on. Mr. Speaker, if you look at page 141 to 142, you realize that the resource allocations that are outlined there are indeed growth-oriented allocations that will help to spur the economy on. But, Mr. Speaker, I have followed the debate in the last couple of days, and I will say that it's been amazing watching our colleagues, especially on the other side, exhibit what seemed like the height of hypocrisy and stunning display of collective amnesia. Mr. Speaker, it is amazing to watch them lament about unemployment and poverty whilst criticizing this government's focus on critical infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, for 8 long years, they were the very architects of our current economic distress. They were in charge, Mr. Speaker. They presided over an era where the word corruption became synonymous with leadership. Mr. Speaker, from the Ejapa royalties deals, to the Eka energy controversies, to the PDS scandals, Mr. Speaker, the countless reported breaches on COVID-19 relief fund of about 21 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the National Cathedral waste of over about $100 million. Mr. Speaker, the SkyTrain deals that never was. Mr. Speaker, the Paulugu multipurpose dam that never was. And the money that the state lost as a result of these ventures. Mr. Speaker, I could go on and on. Mr. Speaker, their tenure was a master class of state capture. Mr. Speaker, the resources that should have been building factories, that should have been building schools, that should have been building hospitals, were instead funneled into the pockets of a very selected few. Just because, so when you watch them today lament about unemployment, lament about poverty, it is shocking and can only be described as the height of hypocrisy. Just because yesterday I heard my honorable colleague, Kojo Opon Nkrumah, make reference to the fact that they handed over about 150 factories. And that because we have cancelled the one D1F office, Mr. Speaker, those factories cannot provide the jobs that are needed. Mr. Speaker, really? Was the one D1F factory paying the workers? If indeed they handed 150 factories, those factories should be providing the jobs and contributing to the economy of this country, whether a 1DF office is in existence or not. Whether a 1DF office is in existence or not should not affect the running of those 150 factories. Mr. Speaker, they say in our language, in Dagbani, that kaya nye tuzo milgia. Mr. Speaker, to wit, the lack of energy to carry the load that is before you is the reason why you will say the aid that is to help you carry the load has shifted. Mr. Speaker, so clearly, if they had those 150 factories, they would have been functioning and supporting the economy. Mr. Speaker, the culture of corruption that directly fueled unemployment and poverty they now pretend to decry can only be attributed to their administration. How can jobs be created when contract sums were inflated? Mr. Speaker, and the funds were actually channeled. We're told in this country that party here, Sika. We all witnessed what happened when they introduced LEAP. Mr. Speaker, we witnessed what happened when they introduced NAPCO. Mr. Speaker, these schemes were compromised by systematic graft, leaving beneficiaries in the lurch. Mr. Speaker, the lamentations, therefore, are not a sudden awakening of conscience. They are a political strategy just to evade responsibility. But I assure them that President Mahama and his government will ensure that every peswa that was wasted is retrieved where possible. Mr. Speaker, the priority of this government is on critical infrastructure. And critical infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, is not just luxury. It is a necessary intervention to rebuild the foundation that they destroyed. Mr. Speaker, their administration prioritized consumption, spending on themselves and their cronies, while this government is prioritizing production. And you cannot tackle unemployment, Mr. Speaker, without reliable energy. Investing in the power grid and renewable energy is what will power the industries that will create the jobs. And that is why in this budget, Mr. Speaker, you'll notice the commitment to a GPP2, the construction of another Ghana gas processing factory. Mr. Speaker, you cannot reduce poverty without efficient transport. Building roads, Mr. Speaker, and port infrastructure is what will lower the cost of food and goods and connect farmers to markets and make Ghanaian businesses competitive. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, you will notice in this budget again that we have prioritized critical corridors, road corridors in this country. We have prioritized the construction of the Western Corridor, Wenchi all the way to Wa, the Eastern Corridor, that will take the road all the way from Aflao to the Upper East region, Kolongugu. Mr. Speaker, we have also prioritized the Central Corridor. And as we speak, the dualization of the Accra-Kumasi, highway has reached about 64% completion rate. And Mr. Speaker, you will recall that when we came into power, that project was stalled because there was no dedicated funding for that project. It has been put now on the Big Push agenda. Mr. Speaker, the headline of President Mohammed's Big Push agenda is the new expressway that will see about 8 interchanges on the Kumasi-Accra highway. Mr. Speaker, all of these are not just concrete, bitumen, and metals. Mr. Speaker, these are projects that will impact our economy, that will produce jobs, and that will create employment. Mr. Speaker, you cannot attract investment without a transparent system. The new government, and that is His Excellency President Mohammed's government, is focused on rebuilding trust and directing funds into tangible projects And these projects, Mr. Speaker, will ensure that we restore the confidence that is required for the necessary investments to be done to bring about the jobs. So, Speaker, finally, I heard the former finance minister yesterday also make reference to food inflation.